Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cut to the Chase Sports Podcast. I am your host, Chase Johnson. To my right, we've got Matt Ricketts from Springfield, Ohio. Matt, what's going on?
What's going on, boys? We had a crazy week of college football. Crazy week. The Buckeyes really came out and kicked some ass. I mean, they looked flawless. Right, Brady? How you doing over there? You were at the game. Let's hear it.
It was awesome. It was, like you said, it was executed perfectly. A little bit better team than Akron, but we played a better game than we did against Akron. You know, across the board, could have named the score. Played a great game. And the best part is, I don't even think we've seen everything we have to give yet.
Yeah, it's an expansive bag of things, and we've only scratched the surface for 2 games, and there's many more to go. If you guys are watching this video, please like and subscribe. We appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving us. I would have loved the team here in Cincinnati to have done that on Saturday and Sunday, but you can't get what you want all the time. I'm still kind of recovering. Hey. But college football, we love college football. It was a great weekend, to say the least. A great weekend for Ohio State fans on both fronts. So, Saturday, noon game, Texas, Michigan. Texas kicked the shit out of Michigan. Look, it was a 19-point win, but the score was worse than what it actually was shown. Texas was a pure beatdown of straight smash mouth football and just condensed defense, man. It was Michigan was in jail, to say the least. No Kanye references, but they were in jail. Michigan's offense, wow. One of the worst offenses we've ever seen from a Power 5 team that's coming off a championship ever, question mark? Probably, yeah.
Might be the worst. I'd have to go back, but it really might be.
I can't remember, a significant drop-off from a championship team to the following year. You have to go back in the archives, and that's why we have Matt in the middle of us. So, can you remember a team that dropped off this bad in the 21st century, the next year?
Offensively or as a whole?
I mean, offensively is it's a little more specific, but as a whole, I mean, there's
probably LSU though.
There's been a couple of LSU teams.
You would say,
yeah.
No.
Feels like LSU's all the time when they win it. But
I mean, typically it's Bama or Georgia or Clemson, the teams that recruit really well, but Michigan just doesn't. Or they recruit fine, but it's not like they're just cycling through dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not how it is. So, Texas in 05, I think, ended up losing 3 or 4 games the next year in 06 with Colt McCoy. But that's when he was a true freshman. So other than that, the crazy thing about that was they were we went to play Texas. They were number 2 in the country. It was 1 versus 2 in that game, and then they kind of fell off. So I would say that them maybe wins and losses wise would be a team that you would compare to it. So I don't know, man. Michigan looked horrible. I mean, I thought their defense would play a little better. Still, the under that was just one of Matt's picks tied at 43.
Mm-hmm.
Tied.
Right
not
there.
For that late BS touchdown that Davis Ward chucked up down there at the end of the game, I would have covered both of my bets there. I was pissed. But we went 2-0-1 on the week. 2-0-1 on the week. So, but yeah, I mean, Michigan, I thought their defense would play a little better, but I was not shocked at all by how bad their offense was.
Now, Quinn Ewers, how did we feel about him? I know he's going up against a lot of pressure on Saturday, but what do we think of Quinn's performance?
I thought he was a beast.
I thought he was great.
You're good. You're good. Go.
I thought he looked really good. There wasn't really much else that I was looking for other than what he did out there. Whenever he needed to make a big throw, he made it. He was throwing the ball well across the middle of the field. He had on third downs, he was hitting. He hit a deep shot on the first drive on third down when they that first drive, the first 2 plays, Michigan was beating Texas up physically, and then on third down, go ball to the sideline. Really good throw by Quinn Ewers that kind of shifted momentum, and then Texas's offense just took off from there. So Quinn was great, and Texas, if they play like that, definitely should have a top 3 offense in the country based off that outing. I mean, because I genuinely do still think Michigan's defense is top 5. I just think they played a really good offense as well, and I don't think Michigan is a top 2 defense like I might have thought at one point, but I still think their defense is going to be good.
Yeah, they got they're good defense, but their offense didn't help them out absolutely one bit. So you're going to be put in short fields, and you're going to have more pressure put on you. So the bottom line there. And again, with the next time Texas plays a Big Ten opponent in the regular season is going to be next year. We were talking about this off camera like a little bit ago. Ohio State and Texas do play each other next year, which the years just go by in that regard. And the game Matt mentioned was September 9th of 2006. Ohio State won that game 24-7 in Austin, Texas. Bowling Green, Penn State. That was a close game for some reason. I don't know what happened there, but the Maction almost stood up, and they almost took down Penn State as well. We'll talk about the other one in a minute, but Penn State in a dogfight wins by 7. Connor Bazelak from the 937 Alter. He was in there throwing the ball around for Bowling Green, but concerns from Penn State or what? Like, what's going on?
I feel like they always do this. Like them and Notre Dame specifically, who we'll talk about here soon, always end up laying. They don't have to lose the game. Sometimes they do, but they always have a big win.
Notre Dame definitely loses them sometimes,
right? But I'm saying they don't have to. I'm saying, but they just lay a big freaking egg after a big game. Last year, Notre Dame, even though they lost to us, they did it against Marshall, and then they get it again this year against Northern Illinois. I mean, Penn State's done it. Whether they go out and play like shit or they'll lose in 9 overtimes to Illinois, like they always lay eggs after big games. It's just weird to me. So it doesn't shock me. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be exactly where I thought they would be at the end of the year still.
Yeah.
Brady, thoughts? Yeah, I still think Penn State's a good team. In terms of I think they're just as good as they have been in the past few years. It's just I feel like their defense played really bad. They probably weren't awake for the game as much as they should have been because the difference between a Penn State and a not even a Notre Dame, but a Penn State and an Oregon who are both struggling is that Penn State already had played a good game. So they've proven that if they're not off their game, if they're locked in, Penn State I still think is definitely a good team. It's just I think they played really bad.
Yeah. Again, early in the season, a lot of coaches say that the biggest jump that they see from their team is week 1, week 2. We'll see how Penn State progresses as the year goes on. Georgia Tech, number 23, lost to Syracuse. Kyle McCord was out there throwing the ball around. Again, in the ACC, different system, playing against some different competition, indoors, climate controlled, all that stuff. Kyle McCord, what's the thoughts on him, Brady?
He really looks really good. The thing with him is if he has a clean pocket, he throws the ball pretty well. He has a strong arm. He has not a quick release, but the ball gets there fast to his receivers. And, he has a year of experience under his belt. So he looked really good from the pocket. So I don't necessarily think he was bad at that stuff last year. He relied on Marv a ton, obviously, last year. And he doesn't have that at Syracuse. But it seems like Syracuse is playing to his strengths well. And I think Kyle McCord is a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. But I also think there's some fans that might look at it and say, even though Will Howard's playing really good too, will be like, oh, maybe we, did Kyle wrong. I just don't think he was the right fit for the system. Kyle's problem was more of once the pocket does collapse when we're playing a great D line like Michigan, we need somebody that can at least make one guy miss and extend the play. And that's why Kyle wasn't a fit there for that storyline. But Kyle looks good. Throwing darts.
Yeah, no pocket's ever going to be clean on every single drop back. And when you have to go make a play, you got to have a guy that's back there could go make a play. Yeah. Matt, your thoughts, Kyle McCord?
You can't argue with the numbers and the performance he's had so far, but something's telling me I just still think he sucks. I don't know what it is. I just think he'll balance out by the end of the year. We'll see the Kyle we know. That's what I think. He's played great so far. I'm 100%. You can't argue that. But I just think he still sucks. I think he'll shit a brick at some point.
Well, there's Matt Ricketts standing on business with that take there. He thinks Kyle McCord sucks. But all right, there you go. Move on to the big one, actually. It was Northern Illinois and Notre Dame. That was, I took a nap for an hour. And the next thing you know, I wake up and Northern Illinois is kicking a game-winning field goal. And I'm like, okay, what is going on right now? This is insane. what in the hell is happening? What is this? What is not clicking with Marcus Freeman and those guys up in South Bend?
They just overlooked them. They're not handling their. He said it in a press conference. They didn't handle success well. Well, no shit. I mean, you're playing MAC, Northern Illinois. Just came off a huge SEC night road win. Like, I don't know what's going on. I still think if they win every game, they'll be in the playoff the rest of the way. Like, but it's just, I don't know. I really don't.
I mean, that was the game that they talked about on their schedule against Texas A&M. They get through Texas A&M, it's a breeze the whole way. And again, looking ahead that far, that's they really, hit a roadblock right there. Now you're like, okay, we beat A&M on the road, but we lost to Northern Illinois at home. Who the hell are we? Like
that playing. They got Purdue. They got Purdue this week, which I think Purdue is much better, much improved. So it's at Purdue and West Lafayette. You don't want to. I mean,
if you're a ranked team, you don't want to go there.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to play at West Lafayette coming off of that shitty performance. I think it'll wake them up, I guess. For you know what I mean. Purdue is more of a sleeper where you're asleep, you're cruising in, you're undefeated, whatever. And you kind of just come in and snooze fest and get your ass whooped type deal. But at the same time, I think Purdue's.
Who did that happen to?
The Buckeyes.
I wonder.
Oh, okay. I was about to say
it's actually happened multiple times. We lost there, but I think it'll wake them up and they'll be fine this week just because of that reason. But I do think Purdue's much improved, so we'll see.
Yeah, no,
keep an eye on that one.
I think Notre Dame. I mean, after week one, I thought they looked really solid and that they'd make the playoff for sure. All that stuff because they don't have another real test till USC, which. Man, that game's not looking very winnable for Notre Dame right now after that. But a guy who sucks and who Kyle McCord clears is Riley Leonard. Oh my God, he looks awful. I mean, the dude and at Duke, I projected him. I thought he would be good when he moved up a level. I did. I thought he would be able to throw the ball much better. His stats at Duke were horrible. He had thrown 3 touchdowns last year, but I thought it was because his receivers weren't good. Watching him, I'm like, okay, this guy's going to be good. He can move. I thought he was a top 2 quarterback in the portal, top 3, something like that. Oh, wow. That dude was horrendous. Nothing short of horrendous on Saturday. And he wasn't good against A&M either for the most part. He had a good run on the final drive where he got a first down, so he can move. But, oh, wow. I would have told you, he might be a guy that I wouldn't have minded to have even over Will Howard from the portal. In terms of as a Buckeye, but Will Howard, I'm glad you're my quarterback and not Riley Leonard because Riley Leonard threw some bad picks against Northern Illinois.
Yeah, not looking good for the Irish. They got a lot of games, still on their slate, but the heat's turning up for Notre Dame. But move on to another 3:30 game that was played, a CBS matchup, Iowa State and Iowa. Iowa State. I mean, they came back from 13 down after losing by at the half, and Rocco Becht. I never thought I'd mention him on the show. That was the first game. The first Big 12 game I ever called was for Iowa State, and Rocco Becht was a true freshman last year, and he was out there slinging the ball around against Cincinnati. Not much of a tall task to do nowadays, but Rocco Becht was going crazy, and Jalen Noel was going crazy, and Cade McNamara went for his normal 99 passing yards and 2 interceptions. So Cade McNamara, it looks normal. Looks like the normal guy that we know. But again, on the ground game for Iowa, Caleb Johnson at 187 yards from Hamilton, Ohio, where I was actually at this past Friday. But man, that game was pretty wild to say the least, and Iowa let that one slip away.
For sure.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, if you watched the first half, I watched the whole game. Iowa State did not snap the ball on the other side of the 50. They were constantly pinned in the first half. It was horrible. Field position, special teams. Iowa was completely dominating, and it was 13-0 or 10-0 or something. I can't remember what the score was, but it was so close. It's damn, how is this game not a 20-point Iowa lead at this point? And I was like, I mean, you let Iowa State hang around. They finally started chucking the ball in the second half, especially towards the end of the game. And then you get the big kick at the end. I mean, I mean, in my opinion, this is the most underrated rivalry in college football. Every year, this game is always ugly as shit. Ugly as shit. Defense plays really well, and it's always close every freaking year. It's really, really an underrated game, and it's always fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, again, you think about it, it's, there's no pro team in Iowa. It's those two teams right there. And every year, week 2, they strap the helmets up and time to play for the pride of the state of Iowa. So that was the prime example of what that rivalry looks like in history. So that was one of the games of all time, and they're one of the best rivalries of all time, and one of the best rivalry games in their history, to say the least. But we'll move along. We'll talk about Ohio State on the next show because bye week coming up. We'll have a little more time to kind of assess what's been going on. They've played 2 MAC teams and all that, but we'll still take it with a grain of salt. Bama, them in South Florida. They were in a dogfight to the fourth quarter, and then out of nowhere, Alabama just won by 26. I turned it away for about 2 minutes, and the next thing you know, they were up. I think they were up like 8, 9, and then they were up 26. I'm like, what the heck happened? Like Bama. I don't know what the pinpoint with Bama. I mean, they're the number 4 team in the country right now, but I really don't know what the pinpoint with them. I don't know. What thoughts? Anything? Brady, I know you didn't get a chance to see the game, but what's thoughts?
I mean, that's a really bad performance for them. Very skeptical that they could be in a game like that against South Florida again. And we're talking second straight year this has happened. Last year, Tyler Buckner got to start that game. Awful. But it's bad. It's definitely not a good look for Bama. I think less of them than I did after week 1 when they had a good performance against Western Kentucky. But I think Bama could still get it figured out. I think they have a good roster. It's different than usual. They don't have near the defensive firepower they have had in every other year since Saban has built that team. But they should still be solid. I just don't know. I don't think it's the Bama of the past. I don't. I think they're probably around they won't. I don't think they're a top 4 team in terms of by the end of the year. I don't think they'll be considered that. But I don't love Jalen Milroe either.
I've never been high on him, but again, the guy I'm high on right now, the freshman Ryan Williams, 17 years old. That dude's been balling. He's been balling. Matt, you've seen him at all?
Yes. I think Bama he has been balling though. You're correct. I think Bama will get it figured out. But I was talking to Caleb about it, and it was like, dude, it was like the week where all the good teams struggled with somebody. It felt like Notre Dame, Penn State, Bama, and I was like, please don't let us be victim to this, and we were not. So I was blessed in that regard, but it was just like I don't know. I think it'll wake them up. I expect a much better performance this week by Bama. They have, I mean, it's their big non-conference game going to Camp Randall.
And these freshman receivers this year in general, I think is the best I've seen in years. It's not even just Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith. It's the Auburn guys. They got Cam Coleman. And then you got Michigan State had a true freshman just go off for 190 this week. And there's so many throughout the country. So many Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams are 2 of the best I've ever seen. Jeremiah Smith right now, I mean, he's just built – he just can do it all. You can just tell. We haven't even been trying to necessarily feed it to him, and he's going off for basically 100 in both games. And Ryan Williams, big plays, big touchdowns for Bama. He's their best receiver. So it's just nuts to see that in the same year.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, Smith is a guy that should be playing on Sunday right now. He could play in the league right now. I mean, that's just being straight up. I mean, he caught what was it? He caught a hitch. Was it a hitch that he caught? Took it to the house.
It was an RPO. They ran spot, and it was a curl.
Spot, yeah. It was a curl. Yeah. When he took that curl to the house, that was unbelievable. I was like, yeah, this is ridiculous.
I thought I was tripping when I saw him turn upfield and get into open space. And I'm like,
I was like, what? Yeah.
And then they had 3 of them collapsing. He just outran them. He runs a 4.3 something.
Oh yeah. It made no sense. It made absolutely no sense. But I was like, hey. All right, and then and Williams. I mean, for Bama making those big plays and stuff, it was just. I mean, dude's just out there running open, man. I'm like, wow. At 17, he's 17 years old. That's crazy that he's out there
doing that. He's supposed to be a senior in high school.
Yeah, unbelievable what he's doing out there. But yeah, Bama, we'll see if they get it figured out. They got the big game this week against Wisconsin, and in 2 weeks they got Georgia. So we'll see how that plays. 2 more games to talk about. Tennessee and North Carolina State. Wow. Okay. Tennessee expected to win, yes, but by 41 points in the state of North Carolina, no. That was not the anticipation on that. Tennessee straight up demolished North Carolina State. Nico, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Grayson McCall looked horrible, to say the least. 100 yards and a pick. Dylan Sampson, he had a big game, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns on 20 carries. Tennessee, man, they look like a very good football team that day. Or is it more North Carolina State just looking that bad?
I think they're trash and Tennessee's good. I think it's
there you go.
Because like that's where like Tennessee's a top like 15 team for sure, in my opinion. I think they have a much better quarterback this year than they had last year. I know he threw 2 picks. I think that Nico is better than Hendon Hooker was. Like, I think he's going to be the best quarterback Tennessee's had since Peyton Manning. And I think he's just effortless. I just think he's a really good player. But their defense has been playing pretty good this year. And we'll see once they play the real offenses and like the Bamas of the world, like see how they guard Ryan Williams and all that. But Tennessee looks like they got a good team this year. Them and USC both look like they fixed their defenses.
We'll see how that plays out. Matt, thoughts on that game before we go to the next one?
I love Tennessee. Nico's a beast. I think they're right there in the SEC offensively. I mean, they're going to be in contention to make the SEC championship.
There you go. Last game that we'll talk about. Man, this was a Matt's pick. It was a big-time game, Peacock game at 10 o'clock. You had Oregon and Boise State. Yeah. I mean, that game, talk about a track meet. Wow. That was something to watch. Dylan Gabriel, 243 yards passing, only had 3 incompletions, 2 touchdowns. I mean, the Boise State back, man, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns. That dude's something else, man. That was a heck of a game. And Oregon had to win it at the buzzer to stay alive and everything. And Boise State gave them one heck of a game. But overall, the night game, Big Ten after dark, whatever you want to call it, Matt, thoughts? You're watching this game. I know you were.
I was watching it. Yeah, I watched every play. Yeah, I was not shocked at all by anything that happened. Boise's good. I knew they were good. The running back's good. And I knew that they would score against Oregon. Like, I just knew it would be a good game. So that's why I thought Boise State plus 19 was a lock. Oregon-wise, I was more impressed this week than anything. I think they're moving in the right direction as opposed to how shitty they played against Idaho. I knew Boise State was a good team. So I wasn't shocked, and I think you're going to see Oregon start to play better as the weeks go on, as we get closer to the big showdown in Eugene on October 12th, when Matt and Brady and Chase are all together for the first time of the college football season. It's going to be great, boys.
That's crazy. That's going to be the first time all of us are together. That's wild. We've got like a month until that happens, but it's going to come by. It's going to fly quick. It's going to fly quick. Can't wait for that one. But yeah, Brady, did you watch any of the game? Did you get a chance to? Did you get highlights? What?
I went more like watched it back afterwards. I watched some of it, but I didn't watch every single play. I think Ashton Jonty, or whatever you pronounce his name, is in contention to be the best running back in the country.
Yep.
He's definitely up there. Top 3 for sure, and he's just a dog. And then Oregon-wise, like, I don't know if Gabriel really is going to beat anyone deep. Like, he's just not taking downfield shots a lot, I feel like. And I'm okay with that. Throw it underneath and let us tackle you short of the sticks.
Yep, there you go. We'll see if Oregon's offense develops. We'll see if he develops. We'll see if anybody has a creative bone in their body from Eugene, Oregon. Hey, we'll be back here tomorrow on the Cut to the Chase Sports Podcast. We'll be breaking down some of the matchups that are coming up. We'll do a little spot on Ohio State, talk about what we've seen in the first couple of games and everything. You got any things? Matt's picks. Yes. Matt's so excited about his picks that he sent them a day early to me.
Well, I thought we might be going for it. We thought,
but we thought wrong.
We're all right, boys. We're moving in the right direction. We're 4-1-1 on the year. Can't wait for tomorrow. It's my favorite show of the week.
All right, put it there first. All right, guys, we will see you guys next time. That being said, Brady King, Matt Ricketts, Chase Shantz, and